Hi friends, today I am going to talk about a very interesting topic of SPC. What is the key difference between goalpost mentality and loss function? By the time this video will end, you will understand what exactly the meaning of goalpost mentality, what is loss function, whether both are good and both are bad, and how to understand the difference between the two. Well, in general, if you think about an organization which is hiring the people, maybe engineering graduates, and the minimum criteria is 60%. So it means students who are getting 60% or maybe someone who's getting 90 or 95%, they both are eligible to work in that company. Now, what do you think? A person having 60% or maybe a person another having 65 or maybe 90 or 95%, do they have the same competence or there will be some difference between the two? This exactly is the context behind goalpost mentality and loss function analysis. When we talk about goalpost, primarily the intent is that whenever there is the upper specification limit and there is a lower specification limit, sometimes the organization's only focus is that all the parts, if they are between this specification, we should consider it to be okay. But if you see it from the SPC context, they are talking about three key things. They are talking about how we can improve the productivity, how we can increase the quality, and how we can reduce the variation and the waste. But when our focus is only with respect to the specification limit, there is a high possibility that we are seeing things more with respect to the macro level. It is just like a football match, wherein the main focus is what? That goal should happen, irrespective of whether the ball is coming from this side or from the center side. As long as the ball is coming in the post, it is considered the goal. Now, on the other side, when we talk about loss function, now loss function is talking about that our focus should be on the center and not on the lower side or on the higher side, because as we are going on the lower side and higher side, we are increasing the possibility of variation, we are increasing the possibility of maybe some additional work that needs to be done. So, for example, let's take the example of a radial tire. Now, when we are checking the runout of a tire, now, if the specification limit is 0.005 and the upper limit is 0.025. Now, a tire having 0.005 has a more possibility that there is no vibration in tire in comparison to the tire wherein the runout limit is 0.025. So, what is good? 0.005 or 0.025? We know the answer. Something similar happens with respect to the archery also, where the main focus is that we should hit the bullseye. As long as we are hitting there, we are considered to be good. If not, then we are considered to be a failure. And in general, when we are talking about loss function, it is considered to be a quadratic parabolic, wherein the intent is that as per the parabola, if you can see on the screen, then all the points should be in the center. As long as the points are in the center, it is considered to be good. Even though we know that practically it is not possible that all the points should be in center, there will be some variation, but our focus that all the points should remain in center. But as we are moving from say A to B or to C, we are increasing some losses or the possible of some losses, because overall the intent is that the design intent and the customer requirement both should be met. Let me take another example. It's an example of a nut and bolt. Now there should be a good fit between nut and bolt. But in case the outer diameter of a bolt and the inner diameter of the nut, if they are different, one is on the higher limit, other on the lower limit, what is going to happen? The fit will be either too hard or it will be too loose. So it should be somewhere in center so that there can be a good fit. And if you look into the SPC second edition, it's also talk about that it's not only the loss to the organization, it is also a loss to the society, or it's a loss to the resources. Why? Say for example, there is a dimension of a shaft 5 plus minus 0.1. Now if it is in center, it is good, but the more it is going out, say 5.1, which is the upper limit, then we have to do more machining on that. So we are putting up more resources. There is always a possibility that the possibility of rework or rejection also increases, and then customer dissatisfaction can also be there. Now let me summarize that one more time. When we talk about goalpost mentality, our objective is that upper control limit or upper specification limit and lower specification limit, everything should be between that. But when we are talking about loss function, we are assuming that everything should be in the center, because as we are moving away from the center, there is a possibility that there is some loss that is getting accumulated, and we should try to avoid it as much as possible. My next video will again be with respect to the SPC next week. Regularly, I am getting a lot of feedback from your side and they are helping me to understand your expectation. So please do continue that. And in case you want to understand a little bit more about this particular video, you will find a link below. If you click that, you will find a blog there. There you find this information much more detailed. And in case you are liking these kind of blogs and videos, you can always share with your friends and colleagues, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and my website bhavyamangla.com. Thank you.